Okay, all right. So this is a masterclass which was requested by Krishna, who is part of my level 1 cohort. And I told him I'll do a masterclass provided that you can get 50 people to show up. I know when I put a demand like that, I can expect at least about 15 to 20 people. So I'm not very unrealistic. I'm very realistic. 15 to 20 people in the masterclass also is a good value of everybody's time. Okay, so what we will do is very quickly, we'll go through the agenda for the session. Yeah. So about this, we'll do this session for about 90 minutes. Maybe the first 30 to 40 minutes, I'll take you through some boring stuff, which you may already know or not know. And I'm sure every time I do a masterclass on ICF credentials, people get to know something new. So hopefully you will get to know something new. And then I will give you a plan for wherever you are right now to look at going all the way till MCC. And when you filled in the survey, I had asked for any questions that you want me to answer. I have consolidated about 50 questions. What I will do is, as the session progresses, I will put you all into a breakout room. Maybe we'll put like 5 breakout rooms, and then you can go through those questions and see. Each room can look at 10 questions, see whether all your questions have been answered through the session. If they're not have not been answered, then I will definitely pick up those questions and answer it in the session. And I want to respect everybody's time, and I want to finish this session exactly by 8. Okay. All right. So let's move. So ICF credentials, there are 3 levels. All of us know that: ACC, PCC, MCC, right? So what is the requirement for ACC? If you have to apply for ACC, you need to have a minimum 60 hours of coaching education, 100 hours of client coaching experience, and then 10 hours of mentor coaching, right? Out of the 60 hours also, there is a breakup. So the breakup of the 60 hours is that 50% has to be live interactions, either in person or through a virtual video call or whatever, right? And so that is one requirement. The other requirement is, out of the 60 hours of education, I don't know the exact number, a large portion of that, I think it's about 75%, should be on ICF core competencies. The remaining 20%, so out of 60, 45 should be on ICF core competencies, and the remaining 15 can be on resource development, right? If I remember right, that's the thing. But we can go to the website and I'll show it to you. Okay, and then you apply. You have to apply depending on the route that you're taking. You apply. There's one performance evaluation for ACC. A recording has to be sent for evaluation, and then you have to pass the exam. And once you pass it, you get the ACC credential. Okay. So the 10 hours of mentoring, I'll talk about it, how to get it. And then let's move to the PCC. You have to have 125 hours of coaching education, 500 hours of coaching experience, 10 hours of mentoring coaching. Same thing. Here the performance evaluation, depending on the route that you take, either you have to send 1 recording or 2 recordings for evaluation. Okay. Again, 125 hours of coaching education, 62.5 hours have to be synchronous, which means live, either through a virtual call or in person. And then again, this has been split. 75% has to be on ICF core competencies, 25% on resource development. And then we look at MCC. 200 hours of coaching education minimum, 2,500 hours of coaching experience, 10 hours of mentor coaching, and so on and so forth, right? So these are the different levels of credentials. These are the requirements. Now I will go to the next slide. I'll talk about education. Requirement on education mentor coaching. At least 50% education. I already mentioned that. At least 70. Yeah, I think it's 80%. It's not 75%. At least 80% of education was focused on ICF core competencies. On the mentor coaching, a minimum 3 hours of mentor coaching should be one-on-one, right? So out of the 10, minimum 3 hours one-on-one, the remaining can be in a group setting. Okay. All right. So coaching education, let's look at options, the different options available. Yeah. So ACSTH, ACTP, CCE. ACSTH is ICF approved coach specific training hours. ACTP is ICF accredited coach training program, and ICF continuing coaching education, CC. Now, what is the difference between ACSTH and ACTP, right? ACSTH is training hours only. Okay. In some cases, the training provider may decide to package the 10 hours of mentoring, which is a requirement for your credential. ACTP it is training hours plus the training organization is given an approval to also assess your recording for performance evaluation. Okay, the huge difference. Now, CCC right now, we'll take it as continuing coaching education for renewals, but I will talk about it in a different slide. What else can be done with this CC? Okay. ICF accredited coaching education, this is something that ICF introduced last year. The difference, I'll talk about the difference. Earlier, if you want to do ACC, you only had ACSTH path. Now they have introduced level 1, where similar to ACTP, the performance evaluation, the recording of your coaching session, performance evaluation also can be done by the training provider. They didn't have that option before. Okay. So level 2 and ACTP are the same. There's no difference. Okay? There's no difference between level 2 and ACTP. Then you have the level 3. And I'll come to this details in a little while. So, okay. ACSTH, minimum 60 hours of coaching education. The 10 hours of mentor coaching, some training providers will provide it as part of the training. Some will not provide. They will ask you to pay extra. Okay. So you can go and get your ACSTH hours of 60 hours from one institute and go find somebody else for your mentoring. Okay. If you are applying for ACC, your mentoring has to come either from an ACC who have done one renewal cycle, which means that person should have been an ACC for a minimum of 3 years. Okay. Or your mentoring can come from a PCC or an MCC. Got it? Okay. Performance evaluation, the training provider cannot do it. You have to send your recording to ICF for evaluation. ACTP, minimum 125 hours of coaching education. If you don't have 125 hours of coaching education, you cannot give an ACTP certificate to the participant. So 10 hours of mentor coaching is built into the ACTP program, and the performance evaluation is also built. So that means your live coaching recording, you don't have to send it to ICF while you're applying. It will get evaluated by the training provider. Okay. Right. Now let's look at the continuing education. Continuing education is primarily used for credential renewals. Every time you get a credential, it is valid for 3 years. And at the end of the 3rd year, you need to renew it. For ACC, For renewal, you have to have 40 hours of continuing education, and also you should get mentored by a mentor coach. Okay. For PCC, 40 hours of CCE for renewal, no mentor coaching is required. That's the difference. Okay. Right. MCC, you need to have same 40 hours of coaching education for renewal. Okay. Now I'm going to differentiate the level 1 and level ACHS. As I mentioned, you 60 hours of coaching education. The training provider will give you 10 hours of mentoring is inbuilt, minimum of 5 observed coaching session, right? So when you're going through the training program, the training provider has to observe a minimum of 5 coaching sessions of yours, either live or recording, ideally live. In the coaching practicum, the person has to watch you and provide you feedback, and minimum 3 written feedbacks should be given to you. Okay. And the performance evaluation will be done by the training provider. So as I mentioned to you, level 2 and ACTP are pretty much the same. 120 hours of coaching education, 10 hours of mentor coaching. Here, minimum of 6 observed coaching sessions, minimum of 4 written feedback, and performance. Now, the subtle difference between ACTP and ICF is that the level 2 is that earlier that minimum of 6 observed coaching sessions and minimum of 4 written feedback was not cast in stone. Now they have made it mandatory. Okay, I can show that on the website. Very clearly they said you need to do this and provide evidence. And when you come to MCC, 200 hours of coaching education, 10 hours of mentor coaching by an MCC coach, minimum 5 observed coaching sessions, minimum 3 written feedback. The difference is, even today, the training provider cannot evaluate your performance on a recording. You still have to send it to ICF. Okay. That's a fundamental difference between level 1 and level 2 and then level 3. Otherwise, pretty much everything is the same. Okay. Now, as I'm sharing this with you, please make note of your questions. Don't ask me questions right now. You make note of your questions. I will answer all your questions because I don't want to kind of break my flow. So just make sure that I say one time. All right. So ICF credential pathways. I spoke about the credentials. I spoke about education. Now I'm going to speak about the pathways. For ACC, you can do level 1, which means 60 hours of training, 10 hours of mentoring and all of that. Level 2 or ACT, because level 2 will give you 125 hours, ACTP will give you 125. Using that, because you already have the 125 hours, you can use that and apply for your ACC, right? So ACC is 60 hours, portfolio is 60 hours. Portfolio, I'm going to explain it in a little while, right? For PCC, it is level 2 or ACTP. Or if you're taking the ACSH route, it is 125 hours of coaching specific training hours, portfolio 125 hours. For MCC, either it is level 3 or portfolio 200 plus hours. Okay. Now you understood the level 1, level 2, ACTP and all that I explained, level 3 I explained. Now I'm going to make you understand portfolio is very important. The reason that this is very important is because a lot of training institutes don't like to mention about this, because if they educate the participants on portfolio, they will not make money. Yeah. So I just want to be upfront, honest, and tell you that. What is the portfolio route? Portfolio route is, if you're using non-ICF education or CC units, you remember the CC units I showed for renewals? CC units can be still used for your coaching education. for the training hours, you must apply through the portfolio path. What does that mean? It means that if you're a chapter member of any local chapter, you can attend those sessions that they do on every day. Different chapters do different. You can accumulate coaching education and use that to apply for your portfolio path through the portfolio path. Okay. The only caveat there is, unless you become a ICF global member, you cannot become part of the local chapter. Okay. You cannot become an ICF global member if you're not enrolled for a ACSTH, ACTP, level 1 or level 2 program. So that's the caveat there, but I will explain to you how you can beat that also. Now, because you're going through portfolio path, if it's a non-ICF education, you have to provide detailed documentation of the non-ICF programs to ensure it meets ICF standards. What does ICF standards means? The content of the training program that you went through should be mapped to ICF core competencies. Okay, that's what it means. So you have to provide certificates and log your coaching experience hours in application. After the application, you need to pass the ICF accreditation. So this is a portfolio path. I'll spend a little bit more time on the portfolio path. Yeah. Okay. Now, ways to get coaching education. I already spoke about coaching education. I spoke about, ACTP, ACSTH, and so on and so forth. I'll just revisit that. ACTP, all right. ACSTH, continuing coaching education. I have not listed level 1, level 2, level 3. I already mentioned that there. If you attend ICF conferences and events and you invest the time, whatever number of hours, they will have to issue a certificate. Okay. Non-ICF training, I already said, from non-ICF training towards credentials, if they align with the ICF core competencies and standards. Okay. This is a pretty much a clear slide. You understand ACTP, you understand ACSTH, because all of this, at least the first 4, because they are ICF related thing, they will somehow map the content of the training or the conference or sessions or whatever to ICF core competencies, right? So the non-ICF training, whatever that you go through, it is your responsibility to make sure that the content and the modules and whatever training that you're going through get mapped to ICF core competencies, and you need to provide evidence. Okay. Now here's the interesting part. You can receive coaching from an ICF credential. You receive coaching from an ICF credential coach in a group or individual setting for educational hours. Let's assume that you enroll for a program with an ICF credential coach. The program may not be approved by ICF. Since the program is being offered by an ICF credential coach, the ICF credential coach can issue a certificate saying that so and so has gone through these modules for this many hours. This is the outline of the modules, and this is the content. And ICF will accept it. Okay. What is the proof? I will show you proof. Okay. Self-learning activities like reading, watching coaching videos, blah, 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 all of that. There is a limit in the number of hours. You provide evidence for the number of hours that you have invested. Map that to ICF core competencies. ICF will accept it. College or university courses related to coaching that is aligned with ICF competencies. ICF will accept it. Contributing to coaching, content development or research towards educational hours within certain limits, ICF will accept it. Teaching coaching courses can contribute to education hours, provided the content meets ICF standards. Teaching coaching courses, not skill development programs. Okay. For example, you can conduct a coaching course on active listening. Okay. So I don't know whether Deepa is not there, I know, because she's in an emergency. Krishna, I don't know whether he's there. Let me check. Krishna, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah. So Krishna can provide a module on active listening using Panchakoshas and map it to ICF core competencies. And then that can be treated as coaching education. Okay. Please make a note of all of this because I need to show you proof. Otherwise, it'll look like a bluff. Okay. All right. So far, so good. I'm going to go to the next one. So I spoke about coaching education, different ways of getting it. Then now I'm going to talk about how you can get client coaching hours. Ways to get client coaching hours. Pro bono coaching, offer free coaching to individuals, non-profit, blah, blah, blah. Pro bono, you can, so if you're applying for ACC, you have to have 100 hours of client coaching. 25% of that can be pro bono. Yeah. Pro bono is not, actually, it says free, but pro bono is not free. I mean, free means you just distribute to anybody and walking, just crossing, You have to have a purpose to do the pro bono. So 25%. So out of 100, 25 hours can be pro bono for ACC. Out of 500, 100 can be for PCC, and out of 2,500, whatever, you know the maths. What is the other way of getting client coaching hours? Provide coaching at a discounted rate to attract clients and build credibility. Okay. So when you coach, ICF only say that you need to have paid coaching of 75%. ICF does not say, ICF does not set a minimum amount that you need to collect. You can coach somebody and collect just 1 rupee. ICF will be okay with that. Okay. No problem. ICF will be fine with that. Exchange coaching for other services or products with a clear agreed upon value. For example, say you're a coach and you want to coach somebody like a consultant who is going to help you with something, I don't know, maybe to build a website or your social media presence or whatever, right? So you can agree with that person saying that, look, I'm not going to pay you money. However, we can barter our services. You put a value for your service, I'll put a value for my service. Let's do a barter. There's no cash exchange. However, there's a value exchange. That can be treated as paid client coaching hours. Okay. Engage in peer coaching sessions as part of coaching programs that you already know because you are doing an exchange. Internal coaching in your organization, if you're working for an organization, you can get into an arrangement with your HR or manager or whoever and get it done. Volunteering in organization. These are a few examples that I have listed, right? So I'll talk about my experience of internal coaching in organization. When I got my first training in 2010, I say training, it started in January, finished in April. After I finished the training, not after I finished, but just as soon as I started my training, I went and told my boss, look, you have to help me in getting my client coaching hours, so that I can start coaching and getting my experience and so on and so forth. So he said, yeah, I'll do that. And he spoke to a few more managers and they said, I can coach people outside my work hours. So 50 weeks in a year. So I invested about 50 weeks. I was just very consistent getting my hours. Before even I completed 1 year, I had more than 1,000 client coaching hours. Okay. And I will tell you how that is possible in a little while. Now I'm going to go to the next slide. How can you go from 0 hours to 2,500 hours? Okay. You coach just for 1 hour a week. So you will coach 50 hours per year. It will take about 25 hours for you to get your 2,500. Okay. You can do it at your pace, no problem. Because the ICF will not go away. You do 2 hours a week. You do 100 hours per year. You will take 25 years. You do 4 hours a week. 200 hours a year. It will take 12 years. Okay. Now look at 4 hours a week. 4 hours a week is how many hours a day? Sandeep, what's the math?
Shri, it is less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Around
Even
that.
if you decide saying I'm going to take 3 days off and I'm only going to coach 4 days, just 1 hour a day. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
6 hours per week. If you do 6 hours per week consistently, you can become an MCC in 8 years. Consistency. Now, if you sit and think, hey, where am I going to get the clients? You can keep thinking. Clients will not just come and fall on your lap. You have to go find clients, and there are some ways that I told you that you can go and find clients, right? Yeah, this is being recorded. I'll also convert this into a PDF and share it in the group. 8 hours per week, if you do, you can do 400 hours, and you can do your MCC in 6 years. 8 hours a week is actually not a lot. I know people who do 8 hours. You do 10 hours, you will get your MCC in 5 years. If you do 12, you do it in 4 days. Okay. So what happened in my case? I did 1,000 hours in less than 1 year. Then by the time I applied for my PCC, which was in 2016, I had crossed 2,100 hours. Then I had a very bad experience with coaching and I said, no more coaching. I'm not going to do this. I'll go do consulting. So I lost momentum. Had I kept the momentum, I would have got my MCC in 7 years or maybe less than 8 years. Because I lost momentum, for me to pick up momentum back and apply, it was 2021. And I got my MCC in 2022, just 1.5 years ago. Okay. So look at it. I started my coach training in 2010. By 2021, about 11 years, 22, 12 years, I had my MCC. So I actually did this. Unfortunately, and I had a lot of bad experiences. I don't want to tell that story. I already told that story many times. And I didn't have somebody to guide me. That's the truth. I didn't know where to find the clients. I didn't know how to go about coaching and so on and so. So that's the reason I did it. But if you stay consistent, starting today, wherever you are, this is your sweet spot. You go aggressive 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. without going aggressive, stay consistent. Outer limit 8 years. You want to take it easy 12 years. If you don't want to do your MCs, perfectly fine. So the very first PCC, his name is Ajay Nangalia in India. He got his PCC in 2010. He's not an MCC. I'm sure he's got loads and loads of client coaching hours. Perhaps he's not interested in becoming an MCC, right? So it's a decision that you take. All right. So let me go to the next slide, and I'm going to share the strategy with you. Okay. I'm saying let's look at an outer limit of 8 years, 400 weeks, and this is your plan. If you start your training today, yeah, so let's assume you have no background, nothing. If you start your training today, you should ideally get your ACC done with not breaking your back and losing sleep and so on and so forth. You can actually get it done in like less than 1 year. Which my son did. He started his training in 2021 May. He applied for his credential in August 2022. Unfortunately, they took 6 months for him to be assessed and all of that. So they had too many applications during the pandemic, so that happened. Other nowadays, if you are applying for ACC under the ACHS route, not even the ACTP, you get it done in like 7-8 weeks. For him, it took about 25-26 weeks. Okay, this is your roadmap. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some evidence. But whatever I said. See, I told in the beginning that a lot of institutes don't talk about portfolio, and the reason is it is not their business. Why would they talk about it? But all the information that I've shared with you, all of it is there on the website. All of them. Okay. Okay, let me just take you through the website, and then I will show you some evidence that I have in terms of how portfolio works, because I got my MCC through portfolio. I have one of my mentees who applied for her PCC through portfolio. Her coaching education has been accepted already. Right now, the recordings are being sent for evaluation. So I'm hoping that by end of this year or by beginning of January, she will get her performance evaluation done. I have somebody from the coaching community who is going through MCC portfolio route under my mentorship. We are pretty much in the last leg, so he will apply, I guess, in January. So all of this works. So I would imagine this person that I'm talking about, Ritesh Bhatia, he started his PCC training sometime in 2020 August is what I think. Yeah. 2020 August. I think he got his PCC in about a year, I think. And then he's already got his MCC coaching hours of 2,500 and he'll apply. Okay. He's going like a razor bullet. You don't have to go like a razor bullet. Even without going like a razor bullet, you can get it done. Okay. Now, look at it. I'm saying apply for PCC credentialing in like 100 to 150 weeks. I'm talking about anywhere between 2 to 3 years. So here we have Group Captain Sandeep Sarkar who has done it in less than 2 years. Right? So there's evidence. I'm not talking theory. There is evidence and you can do it. Okay. Now, the only thing that I want to be extremely careful when you do this is that don't fudge client coaching hours. If you fudge client coaching hours and apply for your credentials, which means you can also fudge performance evaluation recording for performance evaluation, so you can fudge. I know there are people who do a script of a coaching conversation. Sorry, somebody is speaking. I need to mute. Yeah. So I know people who do a script of a coaching conversation and record it. Because ICF doesn't need a video recording, they need an audio recording, and then they'll pass. And then they'll get a credential. Credentials that you get like that by fudging data and in a very unethical way, I tell people that paper that you get, it is only as good as toilet paper. So no use. So don't take that route. Oh, that person has got the PCC in this many years. This person got the MCC in this many years. I'm better than them. Don't get into that race. That's the only caution that I would like to give. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, now I've given you a plan. I'm going to go to the website, and whatever that I showed you here, I'm going to show you the website. Okay. All right. So let me just stop this. I'll go to the website. Right. So here's the website. Education training requirements portfolio. ACC, PCC, MCC, right? What does it say? ACC portfolio applicant must have a completed minimum 60 hours. It says 30 hours must be student contact. This is called as synchronous. Remaining 30 hours is asynchronous. So out of the 60, 80% is 48 hours. It has to be in core competencies, right? The remaining hours, which is the 12 hours remaining, can be homework, independent study, blah, 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 blah. Okay? You just need to give evidence, that's it. PCC portfolio, 125 hours divided by 2, 50 should be synchronous, 50 can be asynchronous, 50%. And the same applies. So 125, you've got 100 hours of, so 80% is 100 hours. ICF core competencies, the remaining 25 is MCC, same story. Out of 200, 100 should be synchronous. The remaining 100 can be asynchronous. 160, which is 80%, should be ICF core competencies. The remaining can be not. Okay, now I'm going to show you coach specific education for ICC portfolio and PCC portfolio. Let's click this. Education training has accepted as coach specific training. ACTP, all that we spoke. CC spoke. Now look at this. Education or training that has not been previously approved by ICF, that is specifically marked as teaching coaching skills, or teachers how to apply technical coach like manner and teachers coaching skills in accordance with ICF definition of coaching core competencies, will be accepted. Will be accepted. What will not be accepted is education or training that is marked as teaching other skills, even though the skills can be used as a coach or man. No. Personal development courses, no. Psychology, counseling, NLP, no. Okay. Okay, look at this. Teaching coaching classes may not count as coach-specific education training unless the following 3 requirements are met. The application created the class, the application taught the class, the curriculum is in alignment with ICF core competencies. If all the 3 apply, subject to review and approval of the course curriculum, then the class may be counted only one time. So let's assume I'm a participant. I don't have any credentials, whatever. I come from a training background. I decide to teach coaching classes. I can design a program, maybe 20 hours, 30 hours, whatever. I design it. I deliver it. Okay. According to ICF core competencies, only once it will be counted. So if I do a 30-hour program, it will be counted only once as 30 hours. If I do it multiple times, like 5 times, it won't be counted as 30 into 5, 150. It won't. Only once. Documentation. Documentation. Yeah, the number of hours, blah, 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 for, yeah, everything is same, right? Everything, you must submit proof of completion, all that. For classes that you have taught, you must submit a letter that includes the course name and verifies that you created and taught the class. You will get verification training. Document for that, you can click, it will give you the documentation. Okay. Coach specific education for MCC portfolio. It's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Okay. Now the CC that you see here, no? I told you, you can get it attending ICF chapter events, but there's a caveat I said. You cannot become a part of ICF local chapter if you are not a part of the ICF global. ICF global. You can't become an ICF global member if you're not going through ACHTS, ACTP or one other level. So how do you actually get access to the learning ICF? ICF got a learning portal, right? The learning portal, the moment you become a member of ICF Global, it will open up like a lot of programs. So I'll just show that in a little while, right? It has got courses like anywhere between 200 to 300 hours, right? There will be modules for 1 hour to 1.5 hours. If you're an ICF Global member, most of them are free for you. Unless it is a very specific business building kind of a thing. Most of them are free for you. If you're not a member, I think up to 50 hours. You can create an account in the learning portal. Up to about 50 hours, it is available for you free. Okay. Now I showed this when I did a masterclass on portfolio pathway. Now that we are on this topic, I'll also show this to you. Okay. Now let me go to the. So by the way, if you, okay, this is my my login. Even without my login, you can see whatever that I show. Okay. Now I'll go to the learning portal. Through my profile, I'll go. Yeah. So access learning portal, I can go through this. It's a separate URL anyway. It's learning.coachfederation.com. Even if you are not a member, you can go to that portal, create an account and get access to that free courses of about 50 hours that I mentioned. Okay. Now we are in the learning portal. I'm a member. So let me very quickly show this to you. You can see the thing loading, right? Yeah. Circle, 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 circle. Okay, it's slow today. I don't know why it is so slow. But anyway, what I will do is, I will show you something while it is loading. Okay. Yeah. Can you see a Google Sheet loading? Right. So when people sign up with me for their PCC or MCC mentoring through the portfolio route, I actually share this is a curated list that I have. I say, okay, this is a list. And if you go through this is the number of CCC hours that you can get. This is the number of, so it's like almost like what, 90? Yeah, 95, right? This list was curated about 6 months ago. I have not touched this, and I'm sure there are a lot of other courses which have got uploaded in the learning portal. I'm sure I can add another 20, 25 with this, right? Okay. So when they decide to sign up with me, I'll just share this with them and say, okay, now let's, whatever that you want, I just tell them, do this, do this, do this, do this, do. We'll figure out, I'll do that. Okay. Now this is loading. Okay, now it's loaded, right? Now you can go to the catalog of the programs available. When you go to the catalog, it is given you different categories, right? So category, most topic, right? So you can choose on this. Yeah, a lot of things that you can do here. Okay, I want to follow something on career coaching. I want to look at coaching science, coaching. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's look at life vision and enhancement coaching. Okay. So it's loading stuff, right? Because most of these programs are available for you online live sessions in US timings. You may not be able to attend sessions. I have attended during the pandemic, like left, right, and center. The good thing is they make it available as a recording. And then once you go through the recording, there's an assessment that you need to do. Once you clear the assessment, they will give you a credit. Okay. Now let's look at this one. View details. So it will give the details, right? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So what does it say? This particular thing will give you one coaching CCU unit in core competencies and 0.5 in RD. So it's a 1.5 hour session. You'll get one for the core competencies, 0.5 for CC unit. So you launch the course. Okay. You launch the course, you go through the course, and end of the course, there's a questionnaire just to test whether you attended it and you answer it. The assessment, you can do multiple attempts, right? So you can just, if not in the first attempt, you will clear it in the second attempt. And then, I don't know why it's slow. Once you complete it, you can go and download the transcript. Because the thing is very slow, I may not be able to show it, but I will show you a transcript that I have downloaded and used while I applied for my, it's here, right? So you go through the recording. Oh, sorry, this is what, it's not happening. Oh, it's happening only in January. So you can just register for it, and then if it is already recorded, you will see the live thing, okay? So let me just close this. Yeah, it's slow. I don't know why it's. So you get the gist, right? So I'll show you the transcript that I have used for my coaching education when I apply for my thing. Just give me a minute. I'm just doing it here. Yeah. All right. I'm going to show this to you. Yeah. So there's an option to download the transcript. It'll give a breakdown like this. Srikant Kumaraswamy includes activities from 1st January 2020 to 31st August 2021. I applied for my credential in September 2021. Okay, it'll give a breakdown of all the courses that you did. And then it'll say how many are core competencies and how many are ethics and how many are resource development. Right? A very clean report it gives. The reports that you get now are much cleaner. Okay, now I remember I have a report of Deepa, who did the mentoring with me for ICF PCC. Just give me a minute, I'll just pull that for you. Deepa. Okay. Deepa. Right. I'm just show this to you. Right. Right. Can you see this loading? Yeah. So this is Deepa's. I'm sure most of you know who Deepa is. Deepa Mahesh. She did this. She started doing a training in May, and then she just gone berserk. Then she got about yeah, you can see that, right? So 65, here's a 20, 85, 80, whatever, 89, she got. So this is core competency, this is resource development. So she got. Okay. So this is the advantage of becoming an ICF global member, because you have online courses made available as recordings. You can go through it as many times as you want, and so on and so forth. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is, I'm going to show you proof of, let me see, what is the proof I have? Okay. All right. Okay, now this is what was on, what are you seeing on the screen right now?
Emails.
Yeah, the clarification record and MCC path, right? Okay, perfect. This is very important, very, very important. So when I decided to pursue my MCC journey, I did some research. 2020 October, you can see the date, right? I reached out to a few MCC coaches and I say, hey, listen, I got my coaching hours. Sorry, I got my client coaching hours pretty much close to 2,500. I have my training hours. I need mentoring. So they start questioning me, what is the training hours? I said, I have this, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, your so they were just stuck in the head, right? So you got your PCC, your 125 hours. The remaining 75 hours, they said, you should be trained by an MCC. I said, no. I know I have done the research. It doesn't say that you need to be trained by an MCC. It says you need to be trained on ICF core competencies. So three or four MCC coaches I spoke to for mentoring, they refused to mentor me. They said, no, unless you do the 75 hours with us, we will not. I said, okay, chalo. So finally, I wrote to ICF and got this clarification. I said, I now have a total of 175 hours of coach-specific training. What I would like to know is there a minimum number of coach-specific training that need to be received from an MCC? Please clarify this one. So this lady wrote to me saying that, yes, for the MCC, you need a total 200 training hours. You may use the blah, blah, blah. That leaves you with, I said, okay, I understand this. Answer me. Then she said, yes, any trainings, including CCs, may be used towards the total. Any training. So what it means is that if you are applying for MCC, I'm just breaking the news for you. Let's say you did a level 1. You did a level 2 from one institute. Now for the remaining 75 hours, you can go and do a level 1 with some other institute. Use these two and apply for MCC through the portfolio. Are you able to understand what I'm telling you? Right? You can do level 1 from training institute A, level 1 from training institute B, you can do level 1 from training institute C. For level 1, please get this right. For level 1 and level 2, the training need not be provided by a PCC or MCC. Level 1 and level 2 training can be provided by an ACC credentialed coach. The only thing is mentoring has to come from an MCC. That's the only condition. Okay? Because your mastery actually happens not in the training. Your mastery happens when you work with the MCC coach. Get this right. So that essentially means today you are an ACC, you find an MCC coach and get mentored. Holding an ACC credential, you actually can develop the capability to coach at an MCC level without completing 200 hours of training. Are you with me on this? Okay, right. So this, you have the proof, right? I have proof for you. Then there's another proof. I said clarification required on applying for PCC credential through the portfolio paths. So I said in the recent path, I have had a few ACC credential coaches reaching out to me seeking advice on pursuing PCC credential. All of them have at least 60 hours. I say for training education partner. I have educated them on all the three paths, ACC, blah, blah. I understood by going through all that. However, I need some clarification on the 125 hours requirement for coach training. I want to clarify if there's a limit on the number of CCC hours that can be counted against the balance 60 hours, which will complete the 120. Also, is there a minimum? Okay. What did the person do? The person just copy pasted the screenshot and sent this to me. Now I have proof. Okay. Now, here's the last one. Right now I have an ACC credential coach who wanted to pursue portfolio path with me. As I mentioned to you, Deepa has already applied. Another person was short of training hours. She reached out to me because there's conditions, synchronous, I said, okay, let me write to ICF and find out. Okay, I wrote to them saying that, hey, okay, look at it. One of my mentees holds an ACC credential. She's pursuing her PCC credential through the portfolio path. I've been mentoring her for the last 12 months. Currently, she's short of 15 CC hours to fulfill the coaching education requirement 125. I started a level 1, level 2 training program in the first week of September for the very first time. I'll be applying for the accreditation by the first week of March 2024. So that means my program that I'm running right now is not yet accredited. I said, I want her to sit through my live synchronous training sessions and provide the necessary documentation as mandated. I want to know if ICF will accept the 15 hours of training that she would undergo to account for the coaching education under the portfolio path. And I said, as per the website, this is what I see. What did they say? We are unable to pre-approve education, but you have the right idea. Your mentee will report the hours as non-accredited and need to provide supplementary documentation from the course to demonstrate that the education is. That's it. Done. So today, if you're a PCC, if you want to go through the MCC portfolio path, you can use the learning portal and go and get all those hours. You got 120 hours of PC for PC. 75 hours can come through the portal, right? If you're in a time zone that you can attend live, fantastic. If you're not in a time zone that you cannot attend live, you need to go attend chapter sessions to accumulate the hours, right? Worst case, if you decide to work with me, I'm not promoting my mentoring. If you decide to work with me, you can see through any of my sessions and I will issue a letter saying that, hey, this person sat through my session and she's got the hours. Just giving you an idea, right? Okay, this is all what I wanted to share with you. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to very quickly bring up the okay, let me do one thing. I'm going to bring up and show you the questions that I compiled from this registration thing. Can you see? Right. Can you see? Right? You can see it, right? What I'm going to do is, there are about 50 questions. Can you see the 50 questions? Right. What I'm going to do now is, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share that particular document in the chat box. Okay. So what you will do is, so sorry. Yeah, what happened? So I'm going to put you into 5 breakout rooms. Okay. I'll just tell you who all are going to the breakout rooms in a little while. Just can you tell me whether you are able to download that document on the chat box? Yeah. Options. I'm going to give you like maybe 10 minutes, right? Okay, this is what you're going to do. I'll just read out the name of one person in the room. Okay, make a note of this. Room number 1, Anusha, Minash, Nazira, Toby. Make a note of the room number. Room number 2, Alpesh, Bharti, Shripad, Shweta Acharya. Room number 3, Anurag, Goldie, Captain Sandeep Sarkar, Shweta Mani. Room number 4, Archana Chatre, Isha Ajmera, Richa Grover, Vivek Sundara. Room number 5, Krishna Prakash, Vibhu Devan, Yashwini. Right? I'm going to give you 10 minutes. This is what you'll do. Go through the entire document. Number 1 to number 10, room number 1, number 11 to 20, room number 2, like that. You understand? I want you to go through all the questions. And if any of the questions have not got answered so far in the session, you come back and bring it up and I'll answer all of them. Did you understand? Okay. So I'm only going to give you 10 minutes. Okay. All right. I may be sneaking in and out. Invisible. Welcome back. Before I allow you to clarify the questions which have not been answered yet, my biggest fan, Deepa, is not keeping well. She couldn't attend this session. So she sent a voice note and she said, I should play it here. So that voice note also may clarify some questions for you. And then I'll get into the question. Yeah. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to play. If the volume is okay, just give me a thumbs up. If volume is not okay, just ask me to raise it. Yeah.
Hi, Deepa here. Sorry, I could not be there present physically, but I just wanted to add my perspective to taking the portfolio route. In fact, after ACC, when I submitted my application and then it was time to do my PCC, I was very clear that I do not want to go to any training organization. And the simple reason being that I'm aware of a lot of models. And the more I'm aware of, I need to implement it. But when I'm in a coaching session, I am mostly coaching from presence. Not that I don't use models, but the model has to be used if there is a need, a very specific need, a calling need. And therefore, I was clear I don't want to join a training organization. When Shrikant asked me told me about the portfolio route, honestly, I was not sure. It also feels a little scary and also a little unsure because it's an untreaded path. Everybody goes to a training organization and I'm not sure what does it mean. And secondly, when you go to a training institution, the learning happens with peers. When you do a portfolio route, that's not possible. You're doing it individually. Plus, I'm actually taking the courses from the portal, which I'm not really sure I'm going to enjoy or not. So there were lots of ifs and buts, but we still started the journey. Now, I've already submitted my PCC application and I'm waiting at the stage where my recordings are being reviewed. And when I look back, I really feel this was a great decision. It aligned with my vision and purpose of why I wanted what I wanted. And in my mentoring with Shrikant, what happened was that I got a lot of one-on-one mentoring. He reviewed my sessions, gave me very specific feedback, and that really improved my coaching presence and the quality of my questions. Looking at how I ask closed-ended questions and shifting that, I definitely feel my coaching quality has improved. And with that, my confidence has improved, my self-esteem improves, and I'm also in a position to really see what differentiates a good coach from a not so good coach, and my striving is always high. And therefore, if you ask me now, future forward, when I finish my PCC and for MCC, yes, I will go for portfolio route only. And I've actually signed up with Shri for my MCC mentoring also, portfolio route. I now believe, and the other thing that I want to say is that he himself has gone through the portfolio route for MCC. So if he has done it, then I think I trust that because he's finished it and he's got his credential. So it's possible and he knows the way. So can I really trust him and just follow what he says, and just focus on bettering my skills and do my work? I think that's how I think, and I'm in a good place. So all those who are aspirants and want to consider the portfolio route. Actually, there is one more thing I want to share. When you do via the portfolio route, you also save a lot of money. So at least I have saved money, and I think that's one of the pros for me as well. So it's in alignment with my vision, with lesser money and with far more supervision and far more mentoring, which is like a win-win from all aspects. So I wish you all the best, and I really hope that you make the choice. She has announced the portfolio mentoring for MCC, and I'm going to be there. So if you decide to join, then we'll be happy to journey with you too. Thank you.
All right. One more thing I will share. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to share that. Save. Save. Okay. Okay, I need to do this also. Just put this. Yeah, where is this? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Where is it? Okay, you can go start. Sorry, I'm missing this file. I don't know where it went. Yeah, any questions that I have not answered, please ask and I'll just answer them for you.
One.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I think this is partially answered, but just wanted to hear from you. Someone has asked, what additionally will I learn in an MCC training other than what I learned in ACC and PCC training? The follow-up question on this is MCC training a must for improving your craft or achieving mastery? So this question is not for getting credential.
Yeah, I'll answer that. See, as far as training is concerned, it all depends on which institute you go and do the training. Okay. If you go, different institutes have a different approach of helping you with the training. So I'm just randomly throwing names, right? Some institute may say, we will help you to improve your mastery through ontological coaching. Some institute may say, we'll do through somatic awareness. Some institute may say, whatever, right? Now, finally, it all boils down to your ability to coach at a very deep level. Okay, you can learn the models, you can learn the techniques and so on and so forth. Your ability to coach at a very deep level will happen through consistent practice and working with a mentor who will keep on giving you feedback on your coaching, right? You coach somebody, you record, go sit with your mentor goes through it and helps you to refine, right? Training as per se, I already mentioned this, training as per se may not help you improve your coaching mastery, okay? See, the other question I read also that can you coach at a mastery level being an ACC? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, right? You don't actually need the 200 hours of training. What you need is at an ACC level, if you got your ICF core competencies embedded in your system, and if you can find a mentor who can really take you deep, you have to be taken deep. Then you can coach at a master level, right? Coaching at a master level is, if you ask me, it's very simple. You and the coachee are sitting in front of each other, and you should create an environment where the coachee not should be seeing you. You should be invisible. The toughest thing is as a coach to make yourself redundant in a coaching conversation. That is mastery.
I think this answers one of the questions which I was going to table from the list of the 50 questions. What is the differentiation between an MCC coach and an ACC? So I guess this answers.
So also understand, MCC coaching may not actually mean you are coaching at a mastery level all the time, right? If you just worked hard to get through the performance evaluation of MCC, and then after that you go back to your normal ways of coaching at a doing level, which I have experienced. Every 6 months I go find an MCC coach and get coached. I've had bad experiences, 2 of them. Right now, third person I'm working, brilliant. Right? Your MCC coach does not mean that person will coach you at a master level every time or most of the time. Okay, and I also mentioned you can fudge hours and get your 2,100 hours. The reason is there is no way that after the introduction of the GDPR, whatever that you call it, you don't have to send the client coaching hours log to ICF. You maintain it and give a declaration. If ICF wants to verify it, then they will verify it by asking you to send you the client contact details. So they will verify with the clients. Okay. So if you have coached about 100 clients, they are not going to verify with 100 clients. They'll just take a sample and verify. Right? And if you're part of an organization, you're coaching in an organization, you don't have to provide anyway. If you're coaching 100 people, when I didn't provide coaching information, right? I just put a log and got a letter from my company saying that so and so coached X number of people from this date to this date, and cumulative coaching hours is this, done. So no client information is provided to no actual coaching information is provided to the ICF. Only the contact person's information is given. Yeah. Yeah, we have 4 more minutes. If please ask questions. I just want to, because Deepa insisted that I should talk about that portfolio offering. I'm going to talk about it, otherwise I won't have. And Archana had a call. Archana had a call with me today afternoon and she gave me a lot of gyan. So I'm going to take her advice and talk about my program. Yeah. Somebody had a question.
I think essentially most of the questions in that 21 to 30 in our group were really around why MCC. In terms of market opportunity, in terms of how is it different from PCC, in terms of, yeah, in general, why MCC?
I'll just mirror the myth for you. Archana was in a call with me, just a casual chat. She wanted to give me some feedback, so I was gracefully taking feedback from her. I don't go to corporates because I have I have a love-hate relationship with them. As far as coaching fees are concerned, is there a difference between PCC and MCC? I don't think so. Okay. Is there a difference between ACC and PCC? I think so. Now, so far in the last 3 years, after I set up my coaching practice for the third time, I coached more than 100 people, right? Who come to me directly through LinkedIn or whatever. So far, not even one person cared about my credential. Not even one person. They don't care. All that they care is that I have a problem. Can you help me? They don't even know what coaching is. Coaching is an approach that you take, right? When you do a discovery call, they may decide, hey, this is not an approach that I want to go through. I want answers. It's your decision whether you want to give answers or you want to coach. So MCC is a validation for your own self that you have worked on yourself and you are improving as a coach. In the market, does it make a difference? I don't think so. When you go through the MCC, not the training actually, if you find the right mentor and go through that journey of getting mentored by the right mentor, you will shift in an incredible manner. But you should be lucky to find the right mentor. If you found a mentor who is only going to help you to pass the performance evaluation, you lost the plot. You will pass the evaluation and go back to your old ways of coaching. Yeah. What other questions can I answer for you?
Can I go with from group number 5? There are questions around. I will read 2-3 questions together. What are the best training institutes? How to find the training institute to select? That's one. Second, are there some other courses that I should do, which is like foundation analysis or FFP? And third is, should I do any assessments like strength finder or Hogan?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So a lot of corporates, when they reach out to me, they'll ask me, are you organized, certified, blah, blah, blah. I'm not certified on anything, right? I'm very clear that I'm not an assessor. I'm a coach, right? I have the basic intelligence to understand an assessment report, right? If you feel that that's an opportunity for you to get into the corporates to get assignments by doing assessments, go for it. I know of a PCC coach who went through the portfolio path and got a PCC. I mean, she's considering MCC with me, the portfolio path. I can't disclose name. She's got more than 15 certifications. Still struggling to get business from corporate because every time she goes to corporate, they'll ask, have you got this? It's good that you have this, but have you got this? Where are you going to end your certification journey? So if you feel that you want to do it for your own learning, do it. I won't discourage you. Will your opportunities increase to coach? I don't think so. Your approach will, yeah, you will get opportunities to do assignments which are involved assessment and all. I'm not, so I don't want to comment on that. Okay, coaching institutes, there's a directory. You can go to the ICF. I'll send you the link in the WhatsApp group. You can go to the directory and search. You can put your country and you whatever. It'll give you details of the institutes, the programs they offer and all that. So I'm not qualified to recommend any program. So I'm a total portfolio guy, so I don't want to be biased.
Apart from this assessment tool, there was also a question on TA and LPS, which is not an assessment tool, but actually so any guidance on that?
No, your voice something jarring, Shripad, isn't it?
I just put my mic here back. Okay, I will write the question on the chat.
Now I can hear you. No,
you're better.
now I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So apart from the assessment tool, there was also a question around courses on TA and NLP.
Yeah, I did NLP. I did NLP, the whatever that basic thing in 2014. I don't use NLP. NLP is a huge library with so many tools. I don't use any tool. My only tool is the client who is sitting in front of me. I don't need any. People who experience my coaching, they know it. No tool, no transaction. You know what is the issue with tools like this, especially transaction? When you learn transaction analysis, what you're doing as a coach is that when the client is giving a response, you start analyzing. Oh, is the client speaking as a child, the parent, adult, and all that analysis going on in your head, right? So I have done transaction analysis as a course, but no. If you think that it's going to help, put more tools in your toolkit, go for it. What are the questions? 3 minutes up. Because I need to do justice to Archana and Deepa, otherwise they'll blast me after looking at this video. So
Yes, you got it right. I'm
right.
waiting to go
Okay.
through the mentoring program that you would be having.
Right. Okay. So Archana has been asking to provide a mentoring program for coaches, which is not yet ready. It will be ready in the next 10 days, hopefully. But I have a mentoring program for people who are already PCCs who want to go through the portfolio path. I'm mentoring. I'm just going to show this to you. I'll also put it in the chat box. This is what it is. Okay. I already explained the portfolio to you. Option 1, option 2, option 3. Option 1 and 2 are hybrid. I do group coaching and one-on-ones. Option 3 is purely one-on-one. Total number of hours, if you look at it, 3 plus 9 here, 6 plus 6, so 12 hours. This is what we'll get. This is option 1 is 3 to 4 months, 75,000. This is anyway. I'll just put it in the chat box. You can go through it. For my program, which I am going to roll out for coaches to improve their coaching skills and positions on themselves, build a brand, and so on and so forth, it is getting ready. I am right now working with 2 more coaches. Both of them are IIM grads. One is from IIMC and one is from IIMB. They've been my good friends for the last 2 years, thanks to the pandemic. One sits in Hong Kong, one sits in the UK, both Indians. The program will be ready for announcement in another less than 10 days. And we are launching it in the first or second week of February. That's the heads up. Okay. So
And
I hope
Coach,
yeah.
how you will let us know through some channels whenever that is ready.
I will reach out to you one-on-one.
Interest.
Yeah, I will reach out to you. I will reach out to you one-on-one. As a principal, Archana asked this question. I said, why don't you promote your program in the group? I said, I won't. If I do it, then everybody will do it. Then the place will become like a fish market. So I will reach out to you individually and provide the details. And then you can say you want to do it, don't do it, whatever. Right? Either you'll get an email or you'll get a WhatsApp message.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. What else can I answer for you?
So I have one question, Coach. I think this is mostly answered, but I think I'll just ask it anyway. My question was this, which is just like many people skip the ACC and go directly for the PCC, it sounds like it is possible to just learn all of it, practice all of it, get to 2,500 hours, and then apply for the PCC and the MCC in quick succession, right?
Right. Yeah. So I'll tell you, ICF changed the rules. I think they changed it last year. Until last year, somebody can directly go for MCC even without ACC and PCC. Now they have to become a PCC, and then only the MCC will happen.
Right.
Right. So if your question is, do I have to get my ACC and go to PCC? Not necessarily. But if you're looking at reaching out to corporates, and the corporates will just, without most of them, if you don't have an ICF credential, they will not even open the doors for you. But if you're looking at working with individual clients, I don't think you need it.
Right. I think coming back to your original question, my main interest in getting an MCC is not for the credential, but just for the learning and to, it's kind of to, So
correct.
From that regard, it sounds like, and I think you answered my question, which is the PCC is required on your way to the MCC, but it could have been acquired 6 months before the MCC.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so what I'm hearing from you is, even if I have the 2,500 hours, I will not apply for my PCC. Just about I'm going to get my MCC, I'll apply, get my PCC. Yeah, because without your PCC now, they will not entertain your MCC.
Got it.
In the old system, they would. In the new system, they don't. Okay. If you feel that I have answered all the questions which were there in the Word document, we can close. Or if you think that there are more questions, please ask me so I can answer them, and then we can wrap this up. Okay, Captain, see this. They say the blessing in disguise. No, Deepa got sick, and
Yes.
it's unfortunate. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate. She fell sick, and you were able to attend this session. Yeah.
Yes, because I wanted to.
Goldie, we are meeting on Friday. If you feel that there are more questions that you have to ask me, we can address those in the Friday conversation.
Yeah, I will. I'll ask you on Friday. I have a few because they're very specific for me, and the mentoring as well, that I'll probably sign up for. Thank you.
Okay, people have put something in the chat box. Let me just read it. I need to drop off. Thank you very much. You can't gain. Right, super. All right. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I have to drop off. Question: what do I need to become or transform myself? Oh, I didn't answer. Okay, what do I need to become or transform in myself to become an MCC? Start working with a coach, start working with a mentor. There's no shortcut. Okay, one thing that I told this many times, if you're not working with a coach yourself, and if you're expecting clients to come and work with you, it won't happen. If you don't have a coach and you are expecting clients to come, that essentially means that you're telling the client, I don't believe in coaching, and that energy will show up. Okay. I was talking to Archana. Right now, I'm working with 3 coaches, 3 different coaches, because they have 3 different domain expertise. Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
And another aspect I would like to ask, why mentoring is a necessity is as a I mean, I don't know otherwise, but as a beginner new coach, you go through a lot of self-doubt. So instead of passing that self-doubt to your new clients, you are actually supposed to engage yourself into a mentoring program, so that you like every time you be a better coach every time you get new clients.
Right.
So I think it is a necessity.
Yeah. So sorry, I just uploaded my brochure here. See. Anyway, so what I will do is I'll just stop the recording.